Welcome to the Committed Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Overton. I'm here with Coach Jason, and I'm here with 2025 Tennessee Mojo pitcher and Oklahoma commit, Berkley, Zache. Did I say
It's
it right?
okay.
Okay, dude, Coach Jason will tell you, man, I spent 10 minutes trying to pronounce his name. I'm a former teacher, but I teach math. I'll give you numbers all day. You give me a name, I will butcher it. But needless to say, we want to welcome you to the show. We're very excited to have you on.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Now, Coach Jason, why don't you tell me a little bit about Berkley and how you and her go back?
Yeah, so Berkeley is it's a funny story of how we crossed paths. I think obviously Berkeley is a very talented pitcher. I think her dad might have been looking for extra help or something. I don't remember how. All I know is he was reading in these chat rooms of a bunch of people talking trash about me. And he said it was pages and pages and pages of people just talking trash. And then he said, I got to see who this guy is if this many people have this much hate for him. And so he went on our pages and he really resonated with the things that we were talking about and just our philosophy behind movement and motion. And they reached out. I think we did a video thing analysis. Didn't we do that?
Yeah.
Berkeley? Yeah, we did that first. And then next you know, she was landing in San Diego to come train. And same thing with a lot of like the kids, but one thing I think but Berkeley has the edge on a lot of kids is just her knowledge of not just herself, but of just the science behind motion. I think a lot of that is probably from her dad. But you can literally say like, hey, you need to do this with your big toe, and she would know exactly how to position her weight in order for that big toe to do something very specific. So Berkeley does a lot of online training with us and with Coach Juan. But they also supplement it like whenever we're in town. So the funny part is like they're from 45 minutes away from Valparaiso, Indiana, where we have a program. So
Okay.
when we're in town, she'll come by and train there too. But yeah, obviously she's going to Oklahoma. So obviously those kids are very, very athletic and talented, but also very hardworking. So and dedicated. So yep, that would be my first impressions and my thoughts on Berkeley.
Absolutely. That's awesome. And like Coach Jason said, to get to where you're at, you cannot be lazy. You have to be hardworking.
Yep.
So, Berkeley, my question for you is, what kind of training do you do outside of your regular Mojo practices? Obviously, you practice with your club team. Outside of regular practices, what kind of training do you do?
Yeah, so my Mojo team actually really doesn't practice all that much because our girls are so like from everywhere.
Okay.
So the only time we really get together is like maybe a day before a tournament or something to just take some ground balls and stuff. But outside of that, I really I try to get with my pitching coaches and my hitting coaches at least once a week, and then I usually pitch on my own 3 to 4 times outside of that, and then I hit every day. And then I try to work out with my dad 5 to 6 times a week, and then just kind of do some stretching and light mobility work on the other days. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Now, like we mentioned before, Berkeley is a 2025 commit, which means she is in that awesome time where she has already got her college picked out. She has committed, and she still has a year of high school left. So, Berkeley, tell me, what are we looking forward to our senior year?
Yeah, so I actually decided last week that I was going to play high school ball.
Okay.
I wasn't planning to, just because my sister has been my catcher for the last 3 years of my high school career, and I wasn't really comfortable going in not really knowing what I was going to do. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm giving up an awful lot my senior year with like all of the awards and stuff I could get. And so I'm like, I feel like I really owe it to myself with all the work that I put in to play. And so I talked to my coach. We went to lunch, and I decided that I was going to play high school ball next year. And then obviously, the plan right now is to stay with Mojo and continue out through next season. So
Nice. Yeah. Now we know in this day of NIL, it's not all about that, but winning those senior years award is not going to hurt you in the long run. So I think that's a wise decision to stay sharp and do that. But outside of softball, what are you looking forward to in your senior year? I mean, are we going to prom? Are we, homecoming football? What are we looking forward to?
Yeah, so I really don't like football, to be honest, but I love hockey.
Okay.
So I will probably be finding a group of friends to go to hockey games and stuff with. Prom obviously is big at my school. Um and outside of that, I really have to find a new group of friends because my sister is leaving.
Uh,
So um yeah, we'll see where that goes, but
and where's your sister off to? I'm assuming she's going to college. Where's she off to?
she's going to Oklahoma with me actually.
Okay, so she's just getting a head start. So she's paving the way for you next year, huh?
Yes. Yeah.
So that is really, really cool. I mean, that your parents must be beaming.
Yeah.
Two daughters going to Oklahoma, and I've shared with Coach Jason. My family is from Oklahoma. I've got so many connections. I was blessed enough to interview Coach Patty last year, and so I love the Crimson and Cream, and like I say, Boomer Sooner all day. So I love it. I love it. Tell me this. So we know that obviously you spend a lot of time dedicated to your craft to get to where you're at. What are something outside of softball that you like to do, or some that would surprise people? Like, what would you be doing if there was no softball?
Um, I like to just kind of on like when nights are kind of warm, whatever, and the sun stays out. My sister and I we usually go out and we play like volleyball or something. We actually played volleyball before we chose softball, and that was like our sport. And so we really just kind of like to play with it and do that. And then sometimes we go to the beach and we play 2-man. So
Okay, excellent, excellent. Now, you are going to be the envy of quite a few of our guests, because, like I said, when I ask dream schools, it's always UCLA, Texas, or OU, and so you definitely hit the nail on that. Tell me a little bit about your recruiting path. Like, when did you start going to camps? When did you start your emails? When did coaches really start showing interest in you?
yeah, so I actually remember my first email that I got from Duke when I was at a tournament in Illinois. It was kind of like a pre-IDT type tournament, and then from there I kind of just started getting more emails from coaches. And I never really sent emails. I wasn't like a big email sender, and I didn't really go to camps either, to be totally honest.
Uh,
Um, but I got seen a lot when I was with my 14U chill team,
okay,
and I was at those tournaments and stuff. And then as I went to Bandits, I started getting seen by a lot more coaches, and I went to like maybe 1 or 2 camps. And then I went to an OU camp actually after PGF last year.
okay,
And then they were kind of like at all of my games all summer. And so I knew that they were like really interested. I sent Coach JT actually
okay.
like a DM or something because you can't find their emails anywhere.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But
They're one of the
yeah,
hardest coaching staffs to get a hold of.
yep. So I've only gone to 2 of their camps, and one of them was actually in April after I had already committed. So yeah, but
Hey, everybody has a different path, but that's awesome. You definitely did something to impress them to do that. So awesome, awesome. Now tell me, one of the questions that I always ask, what kind of gets you in the mood to pitch? Do you have a playlist that you listen to? Do you have a favorite artist that gets you ready to pitch, or what is your preparation when you go into game day?
um honestly, I don't really have like a hype music. Really, just kind of gives me anxiety, and I try to keep it on the down low. And
Okay,
so, I usually just like look out my window. I have to drink like an energy drink or something before a game, but I don't really like listen to music or anything. I just kind of listen to my parents' conversations and
well,
go from there.
it's funny for some reason my wife thinks that the kids don't listen while they're in the car, and so she's like, "How come you're not saying anything?" I said, "Because kids listen." So
Mhm.
I'm glad that you vouch for that, and so I'm going to make sure my wife watches this episode and say, "Watch what you say." Yeah, no further. So last question before I turn it over to Coach Jason to kind of close us out. Um, if you weren't going to be a softball player, and for most of us, softball ends one day, unless you're Coach Jason and you just do softball till you're 40. Softball's going to end for us for most days. What's something besides softball that you're interested in pursuing?
Um, if I wasn't playing softball, I would have continued my volleyball career
Okay.
because when I quit, I was already getting looks and stuff from coaches. And so, and I was in the pipeline for USA Volleyball and a
Okay.
couple other things. And so I really love volleyball, but when COVID happened, like I had to kind of choose one or the other because we aren't in a big volleyball area.
Okay.
And so we were like, okay, either we have to move or you're gonna have to choose softball. And I chose softball. So I would, if I didn't have softball, I would have definitely continued my volleyball path.
Okay, so you're an athlete through and through. I love it. I love it. Now, one question that we ask all guests, and I'm going to exclude Coach Jason from this. So we always want to ask about a favorite coach, someone we work with, whether it's our travel or our high school. And remember, I'm excluding Coach Jason because we know he would be number one on the list. So besides Coach Jason, give me a coach that you really appreciate that meant a lot to you.
If we're excluding Coach Jason, I'd have to say Coach Juan, just because like
Oh man, man. Check out those dudes going down. Those dudes are going down by the minute. I love that, man. She can run for office once she gets done with softball and volleyball.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, what do you like about Coach Juan? 'Cause he's a great guy. I've met him as well.
yeah, I don't know. He really knows pitching, I feel like, and he like always at the start of our lessons he does like a mental check and then we just kind of talk softball for a little bit and just kind of like he gives me advice and stuff. And so I really like appreciates that he appreciates me as a person and not just as a pitcher. And so yeah.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Coach Jay, do you have any parting words for our guest Berkeley today?
No, not necessarily. I mean, I'll say this. You know, the one thing about Berkeley and her family is I just want to say I mean I knew you and your sister were close, but after today, like hearing how involved you guys are with each other, like I think that's so awesome. I'm actually kind of jealous because I have two sons and they're nowhere near that. They can't almost stand each other half the time. But that was good to find out today and how, but that is, I think that's, do you, but well, the reason why I'm asking that is, do you think a lot of your pitching success is just due to your sister catching you, knowing you, your patterns and things like that?
Yeah, actually when we had our like banquet for high school and stuff, I wrote her like this whole letter and I was like, you know what? Everything that I have gotten is ours. It's not mine because I know like 100% I would not be where I am without her because like I trust her 100% when it comes to catching me and anything else. And so, because she calls my pitches. And so I don't think I've ever really shook her off before because I'm like, what she's calling for a reason. And so
Mhm.
I trust her 100%.
Yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, I mean, I just want to bring that up because, like I said, I knew you guys were close, but God, it's gonna be like hard when she leaves, huh?
Yes. Yeah. It's going to be so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
So
that that is
anyway,
that is a special bond. That is awesome.
yeah.
So Berkeley, once again, we want to thank you. We wish you nothing but the success. We will be following you, and you have a new fan in me, Berkeley.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.